Hi, this is Lauri Juniper from YOURE, Drag Edition, the final interview with Max the Drag Queen, part of BRIMBANK Live, local BRIMBANK Live, Live FM. Hi, Max, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you, even in lockdown. So you were tagged by Malibu, and when I asked Malibu why you inspired them, they said, I met Max when he had just turned 18 and he was at his first ever drag show. He told me he wanted to be a drag queen, and I remember telling him how hard it is to do that full time, as most queens have a second job in a more stable field to help support them financially. 2 years later, Max is working full time as a drag queen thanks to his incredible drive, passion, and work ethic, which really inspires me. And so how does it feel having that kind of impact on the people around you in the drag community?
It's it almost gets me emotional because um, I've known Malibu obviously since the first time I ever went out to a gay venue. They were one of the first people I ever met. They gave me my second ever gig. Um, yeah, I'm just really grateful that I have the people around me that have given me these opportunities and have wanted nothing but the best for me. Even when the odds were stacked against me or it didn't look like I was able to do it, I had so many like wonderful people around me saying, "No, you were meant to do this." I don't know. It's really reassuring to know that people really believe in you like that, and I think being a part of the LGBT community, um, I really feel the love from every single person in it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I've been told by both other interviews that the support that they find in the community has made a massive impact on them and their motivation to continue. So I think that's probably a common theme in the drag community, specifically in Melbourne.
Yes, absolutely.
What made you feel so passionate about drag when you saw it?
Um, Well, the first time I ever saw drag, I guess, would probably be when I went and saw Kinky Boots the musical when it came to Melbourne. Um, I'm sure I'd seen drag before that. Actually, the first time I ever thought I actually saw a drag queen was when Cher's Believe music video was on TV. I didn't know what a drag queen was at all, but I saw Cher on the TV and I was like, oh, that's a drag queen. And I was very incorrect. Well, actually, I'm not incorrect. Cher's a drag queen. She wears enough wigs and makeup. But the first time I like saw drag, I guess, live and on stage would have been in Brisbane when I was having schoolies. We'll call it schoolies. Yeah, I went to a gay club with one of my best friends, and we saw some local drag, and it just blew my mind. I was like, from the moment that the Queen stepped on stage to the moment she stepped off stage, I was just in absolute awe, and I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I have to do that. So yeah, I'm really inspired. I'm constantly inspired by the queens that before me, and yeah, I just have a lot of love for the art form of drag, I think.
That's awesome. What advice would you give others wanting to start drag of all ages, older people and also younger people?
What advice would I give? I think my advice is keep practicing, have the drive, have the passion, because that's ultimately what will get you recognized. You could be horrible at wigs, you could be horrible at makeup, you could be horrible performing, like your opinion, you could be horrible at all those things. But like if you have that desire and that drive and that passion to be there and be doing it, that's what will get you recognized. So yeah, just have that passion, I guess, have that drive, want to be there.
What's the most challenging part that you found personally about drag?
Ooh, um, it's a hard question because it's like you've got your dream job and then you go, so what do I not like about it? Um, the most challenging part, I think the
It doesn't even.
emotional,
Oh, yeah,
it's like
sorry.
I don't know. I think it would be the emotional and like the physical strain on my body as a performer. I think working like 4 to 5 times a week in drag and doing the absolute most every single time you step out on the stage, I think that it has a real physical like strain on your body. And then because you're so emotionally tired from giving like your 100% every single time, then that is super draining. So you get home from a gig and then you are lying on the couch. Your head hurts from wearing a wig. Your entire bottom half of your body is in so much pain just from wearing tights and wearing like being in heels all night. Your stomach hurts from being corseted. You've got like all these lines in your body from like undergarments, and your ears hurt from jewelry. And yeah, but like even with all that, I think it's still a moment where I am lying there in pain. I'm really like emotionally drained, but I'm still super grateful to be doing what I love.
That's really amazing to have that kind of passion, and that even with all the, I've worn heels for 6 hours now and I'm so over them, even with all of that, to still have that kind of passion is just really inspirational. So what has been the highlight so far of your drag?
Highlights. That's so hard because it's such a generic response to be like, I just love every single part of what I do. But like, every time I get to step out on a stage to a crowd that wants to see me do or live up to like the potential that I have, like that's the highlight. That's the most rewarding part, is just being able to step out onto a stage, like hearing the start of your track play and hearing the audience scream, knowing that you're about to go out there and turn it. Like that's the highlight for me every single time that I get to perform.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So the question that everyone is always wondering every time they see a drag queen when they haven't had any experience with drag and it's their first time seeing a drag queen, how long does it take you to get ready?
All right. So makeup is approximately, you know the word I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to speak. Makeup is about 2 hours. If I need to hurry up, I can do it in like an hour and a half. But I like 2 hours. I like half an hour to like get into full drag. So it's about 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours, roughly.
I suppose it's different every time depending on the kind of gig that you're doing. How would you describe your drag to someone who's never seen you perform?
Right. How would I describe my drag? I would say a pop princess that likes to pound her body into the stage. Yeah, that's the description I'll give.
That's spectacular. I'm now really looking forward to eventually seeing you perform in real life.
Yes.
How has COVID impacted you? I haven't seen you perform in real life, only on videos on social media because of COVID, but how's that been in lockdown quarantine?
It's definitely had its pros and cons, more cons than pros, but being a full-time performer, this is my only job. I drag as my sole income. Having having now reduced places to perform has obviously had its like financial issues, but it has really my mental health has taken a dip because of it. I feel like drag is such a beautiful creative outlet that when I'm not being able to express how I'm feeling through performing like every single week or even just every weekend or whatever it may be, like it really leaves me alone with my thoughts and makes me have to have that challenging internal dialogue of like, so how are you going to process this emotion now that you can't like perform it to a crowd? Which is a bit weird, but like, I think, yeah, I really do use drag as a form of therapy. So not being able to do that and not being able to have that audience response, because doing it to a camera is not the same as doing it to an audience. Yeah, it really takes a toll, and I didn't think it would, but like, yes, COVID has really shaken things up for drag. It's I think really united the drag community. I think we're all in the same boat, so we all really understand it. I think we're all just really excited to get back on stage as soon as we can.
What kind of self-care things have you been doing to keep your mind busy and to keep yourself distracted from everything that's happening in the world? What kind of hobbies do you have outside of drag?
Going on walks, just trying to keep that fitness going since drag was basically my gym, considering what I was doing on stage every week. So I think just walking we'll call walking a hobby now, I guess. I'm walking a bit more, which is so exciting. I love talking about walking. But yeah, that's about it. I haven't really been doing anything, just been catching up on TV shows, and yeah, that's about it.
So you just mentioned live streaming. How have you managed to keep up with like content online and having an online presence and still sharing your drag with the world and like keeping together as a drag community? You said that everyone's really come together.
Yeah, it's been good. I think that live streams and turning drag into a digital era has really forced a lot of people to really get creative, which is great because this community, like the drag community, like thrives on creativity. Like that's what we are, we're artists. So forcing people to get really creative and like be able to like turn content like just for the digital era is like mind blowing. What have I been doing? I have been doing a bunch of live spot numbers, live shows, some at venues like Hoofddorf and Piano Bar and Pride of Our Footscray. I've also been doing some stuff at home with fellow artists like XYZ. I have been doing, it's really forced me to start like doing drag just for like the fun of it, I guess, like really bringing back, because it is a job for me. So it's really bringing back like that, you can get in drag when you're not getting paid. Like that's allowed. Like you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to just do drag for fun. Like it drags for everyone. So even the full-time people doing it, they should still be doing it for fun. Otherwise, I don't think you're doing drag properly. Like if you're not having fun with it, you're not doing it properly. So yeah, forcing myself to just get creative, turn looks just because I can, getting in full drag, spending 3 to 4 hours just doing a makeup and putting drag on at home, just take 2 photos and then get out of it. Like it's different, but it's been good to test my limits, I guess.
Definitely. Sounds like you've got lots of time to improve, ready to perform and get all of that energy back out onto the stage.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So in a COVID-free world, which as much as it feels like it's never going to happen at the moment, it will eventually happen. Where do you see your drag going? Where do you see yourself taking your performance globally, or staying in Melbourne, starting small, going big, or just going straight for New York? Where do you see yourself?
I think that with this entire COVID-19 situation, I think that I'm having a lot more conversations with other drag artists, especially my good Judy, my drag mum, Isis Davis Lauren. We've been talking about wanting to do like a national tour. Like not that we're famous enough to do that, but like we're calling it a national tour just because we can, just because it's camp. But I think we really want to take drag globally. Across Australia, across the world. I just want to travel more with drag. Like I've done it a little bit with like Tasmania and Sydney. But yeah, going to like the other states and just like other countries, I think, having this time to just do nothing with drag not like do a limited amount with drag has really, really inspired me to want to take it that next step further and go the extra mile and go international, go interstate and experience what the drag's like in other places.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in all of those places and watching everyone after COVID-19 jump out back onto the stage. So you're my last interview, actually. It's been a really short little mini series, Tag Your Drag Edition. So obviously you're not going to be tagging anybody else, but I would like to hear from you on who inspires you. So who inspires you and why?
Who inspires me? Does it have to be someone under the age of 25? Was that a thing?
Well, for the interviews it was, but it no longer is because I can't interview this person. So go for it.
Lovely. All right. Who inspires me? I think my biggest inspiration would have to be my drag mom, Isis Avis Loren. She is a very important person in my life. She gave me a home when I was struggling with my family home life. She has given me countless opportunities. She has given me a stage. She's given me a new outlook on life, I think. Really, she's probably the best person I know. And I know a lot of people say, like, oh, that's the best person I like. They're the best. But, like, I think she generally is the best person I know as a well-rounded human being. And I just take a lot of inspiration just from her generosity and how decent a person she is. I think she's someone that a lot of people should look up to. And, I would have to say that she's a huge impact in my life.
It's so wonderful to you talk about someone who has had that kind of impact on your life. Well, this has been the final edition of Tag You're the Drag Edition with Lauri Juniper interviewing Max the Drag Queen as part of BRIMBANK Live FM. Thank you for listening.